Welcome to part 2 of this video thing I'm bothering to make for some reason. So, the summary of the last video is LOL autism spectrum and LOL ADD, ADHD, fuck, and so on. And, more importantly, fuck, autism spectrum, oh shit, okay. You know, that being more recent. Yeah, and lots of denial about that because the way people portray it is so dramatic, and you think nonverbal, you think socially incompetent, you think not a woman, not non-binary, whichever it is. I haven't made up my mind yet. I'm not a cis woman, I'm not a cis man, we know that much, we can put that down. Woman-ish, that works. So, she, her pronouns, I don't care. It's whatever. Point being, I am one of those people who's has fun with it and just is like, whatever, it's fun being pretty, sort of pretty, whichever, depends on someone's taste, you know. I'm told pretty, so it's fun. I like drag. Drag is fun both directions. You know, glittering sequin Jessica Rabbit dress, looking super attractive. Awesome. Looking like a handsome-ass, strong, buff man, but not a bear, like, what's the word, otter mode? Wow, that was hard to say. Proportionally muscular, awesome, attractive, suave dude. Also amazing! Not very good at that one right now. Doing the weightlifting at home. COVID, yeah, we have time at home, but it's traumatizing, and we don't use that actually productively. They pretended like we should be doing productive things during this COVID nonsense, but that is not happening. Everyone is just trying to keep their shit together and keep from panicking. So, point being, I am on track and have the priorities to go that direction as well, but I do not know how to do masculine makeup. I do not know how to look attractive and suave in a macho way, so that is not something I have a lot of repertoire in, but it is something that would be very fun. So there's the gender summary. Like, I feel like non-binary almost works, but it just doesn't feel quite right either, because it's almost like too vague almost, but I'm not a trans man either. Transmasculine? But femme, yeah. I enjoy being seen as a woman because I like women's culture more, and I was assigned female at birth. So I don't mind being culturally seen as a woman because I think women are awesome and raised well, comparably at least, by society. There are pros and cons, but everyone knows, like, men kind of suck. No offense. You know why. If you make a negative comment about that, you're probably a person I don't like and don't want to know because you don't have any nuance. You need nuance in life. If you've never talked to a woman before in your life, then you would be offended by that because you're like, oh, like, she's sexist against men, whatever that means, and she's like, she's a man-hater, a man-hating feminist, you know, etc., etc. Do you know how creepy men are raised to be? How entitled and weird and, like, how creepy, like, a group of men can be if they're not all super nice, you know? Like, have you ever seen bro culture? Like, how fucking creepy it is? Like, the weird shit in your web browser history? Like, not that everyone doesn't, but just, like, the way dudes talk to each other, especially sometimes about women, it is the creepiest fucking thing on earth. So, when I say all that, that's what I mean. Comparably healthy, lack of toxic masculinity thing, culture, a little less bad. There are bad things about both gender cultures, but of the two camps, I am much more at home in the woman camp, culturally. So, yeah, I don't mind being seen that way. And it's pretty accurate. Femininity, female culture, so to speak, is pretty accurate, not too far from the truth. I like being seen as that. So, yeah. I think the videos are just like where the wind is taking me, because we're already at the 5-minute mark almost. And that was not the intended subject. Welcome to ADHD, friends. and welcome to not wanting to edit and being way too lazy. So that's the reflection on gender at age 31. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Ah, trans is an umbrella term. Oh shit, that's awesome. That's simple. Trans. I'm trans. But not even like in a conventional way that people expect, because the umbrella term includes non-binary. It includes a whole lot of things. So you could say I'm trans, but it's not going to necessarily bring the right image, because most people imagine people who've transitioned one way or the other away from their gender assigned at birth, so to speak. And that is not accurate. So, but in the actual understanding of the term, yes, I technically am. The umbrella term way. So, yeah. There we are. So, autism spectrum has given me a lot of context for who I am. Me understanding that I can call myself that, and understanding my life through that lens has changed everything for me, including how I see my social anxiety disorder. For one, my social anxiety disorder is like 100 times better than it used to be, which is incredible and weird. I still don't feel like it has, but when I really think about how it was, I don't shake and sweat like I used to going places. I don't check where my bus pass is 500 times before getting on the bus. I don't do those things anymore, and that's amazing. And so anyone who's going through severe social anxiety disorder, take heart. Time heals it a little bit. The older you get, the less it'll suck, as long as you don't like bury yourself in a cave. Because if you do that, then you'll have no exposure whatsoever, and you'll just your box will get smaller and smaller, and that's bad. But a small cave with a healthy balance is totally fine, because we're all in a cave during COVID. So it's not really that, because self-care is limiting exposure to exhausting things. So it's just about moderation. So, yeah, my social anxiety disorder, my anxiety, my depression, my things are all fucking symptoms for me. They are symptoms of being autistic. Because me being autistic means I can't handle the same load of information. I can't socializing. It's not that I don't want to socialize, it's just humans are noisy. People move around. Environments are noisy and have a lot of input, sensory, visual input, and I can't stomach that for very long. It's like a meter draining, like a health meter going, the longer I'm in a noisy space, the more tired I get and the more cranky I get. So there's a great illusion that I don't like people, or I don't like talking to people, or I don't like socializing or being social or getting out and about, but it's not true. It's just how I'm built. I don't process it as well, so I have to limit it, and other people don't have to think about that. And so I now understand myself as not someone who has severe social anxiety disorder. I see myself as someone who's autistic and has to be careful about how I spend my limited energy. And someone who, because I grew up autistic and never knew about it, didn't know I had it, and didn't know until fucking age 30 at best, last year maybe, fully accepted and understood it, and was like, okay, I feel like I confidently can say this now. I wasn't until then. And see, I lost my train of thought a little bit. So now I see myself as that, and all that stuff is symptoms of all of the way I exist in the world, and so I understand myself better. I know, okay, I just have to be careful about how I use my time and energy. And it's nothing wrong with me. That was it, is of course I'd feel unbalanced and anxious around people when I talk differently than some people do. I interact, my values are really strong. I find other people sometimes incredibly annoying and thoughtless, but we mostly do, all of us do, because a lot of people are. But especially me, I have a really strong set of values, and the way I occupy space, I'm hyper aware of my own proximity to things, so other people sometimes seem clumsy to me, why are they standing in my way? Don't they feel my presence? Because I feel where everyone else is all the time, and I'm always moving out of their way subconsciously, trying not to block people. Yeah, weird details like that. So it's you feel more mature when for some reason, you just your brain is on overdrive, you notice way more things. So even when you're a kid, you're why is everyone so mean? Why are people teasing each other? Why are people fighting over Foursquare? You're in 5th grade and you're a teacher's pet because you're why is everyone such an asshole? And everyone's like, oh, you're an old soul. And it's like, it would have been helpful to know I'm autistic a little earlier than age 30, thank you. Then I could have been like taking care of myself instead of panicking, wondering what's wrong with me and why I can't survive the world, and why retail makes me want to die, etc., and why dressing rooms make me sweaty because all the light and noise and heat or whatever. Like, I always found things exhausting and didn't know why. I got so many medical tests for so long and was like, why am I always tired? Why do I always feel like crap? And now I know! Now I know, so I can actually do something about it. So it's just so valuable. It's so incredibly valuable to just know that, so you're not hunting anymore and you can actually just like actually make decisions based on who you are instead of just guessing and being like, do I have something physically wrong with me that's like killing me? Like, what is it? And here we are. I'm 31 years old. I'm on the autism spectrum. I have ADD/ADHD. What else can I say about myself? I don't know, but that's relevant to what vlogs I made, so. Anyway, shout out to the kind person who commented. And that's it for now.